Good evening and welcome to this tutorial on how you can make your own little custom Waze mood. Fast and simple, no special gadgets needed. All you really need is the Microsoft Office and your typical computer. So first off, you just need to open a publisher's document by simply going to wherever you keep your Microsoft Office stuff and open Publisher 2016 or whatever model you have available. So open that up. I already have it open down here, so I'll go ahead and pull it up here. You can kind of see I already got started by making several for fun, but what you're going to be kind of doing here is kind of making a little potato head type toy here. What I mean by that is you're going to always be able to customize it by like putting accessories on your Waze figure that you choose, or you can even have several Waze figures set up and use them all. So you just choose how, like you just fix your Waze figures up how you wish. Like here's a sampler. We have like the mustache, the army hat, and then we're gonna have him carrying a gun. So yeah, there's our little army Waze mood. So we have a nice little army dog Waze model. Let me quick tell you why I'm doing this tutorial. Well, Waze is an application that is not run by a giant GPS company. If you don't know what Waze is, it's kind of like a little social GPS thing. But it's not a GPS company that's run by a company itself. In fact, Waze is actually operated by everyday people like you and me. In fact, here's a little look at how it works. Most people only know about the Waze app that you download on your phone and you get points. In fact, like you can see how many points I have. But level 1 isn't exactly like what I am in true life. Those points are actually just from driving. This would be the edits that I do. Now, editing, well, here's what happens. Every day, several people actually come across an error in your map. And they show up like this. Man, I never knew this many errors popped up in a day. So what happens is people like you and me that are taking this role of fixing the maps, what we'll do is find your issue if it's within our area. And here's a sample of what's in my area and what's not. You see anything that's lit, like the path that my marker's in, and then anything that's not lit, which is what my marker's not in. Well, my cursor is what it's called. But so this big area is places I've been, but this area is places I haven't been. And I could work up to a mile away from my route that I was on. If you go over here, we have areas, which this will take me to a certain area that I was at. We can go to drives, and this will take me to specific drives that I went on. So areas and drives. So that's the only places you can work on this whole map. You can't come all the way out here and then fix this guy out of nowhere. Main way of knowing that someone's working on the case is if you see this little text box. What we'll do, you just open this text box and you kind of see like someone's working on it. The issue was the turn isn't allowed. You can kind of see, if we go to more information, you can see the Waze provided route is in purple, but the user's drive was in green. The user just kept driving straight because some left turn wasn't allowed here or something. So they need to figure. So the caseworker or the person that took the case decided to take care of it. So for some reason, some left turn isn't allowed here anymore. There must be like a roadblock or something in the way. We don't know. So we kind of need the person themselves to kind of tell us. But you can kind of see like these lines keep lighting up. These are areas we can edit and kind of change. So any issues that show up on the map, like this might also be a reason why she couldn't do the left turn, is because like something was in the way. We don't know. We'll figure that out in a sec. But well, we're not figuring that out in this video. This is something else. But you kind of see like you have someone who's a volunteer responding. Now this guy, Ed from Ohio, he's actually the leader of this area. He has like some special management role in this area. In fact, you can see me here I kind of got carried away and like tried getting this person to respond again. Little did I know there's a special Minecraft page, or not a Minecraft page, there's a special Waze page with rules, which I keep right here. This kind of tells us like all the rules that we're supposed to take for this area. Like we can't just have our own little date line and everything. We kind of need to make this seem like real company. So that's what you have there. Now, let's get to our project. The main reason why I'm doing this is because of the, if I can get rid of this, cancel this. This was like from a former video I tried doing, which came out to be a fail because my computer died. But this is the Google Hangouts. This is the group that asked me to figure out how to do this. Well, I used a little icon, which is this one over to the left here. You can kind of see it looks like a little smiley face and something you wouldn't really find on Waze. So here's what the case was. Earlier today, they were kind of helping me figure out something that I did wrong, and we kind of did all the work. They kind of just gave me a big tutorial. We all were talking and everything, but finally down here, we see they say, we teach you Waze, you teach us to make a custom Wazer icon. They thought that my icon that's over here, they thought I made that myself. I actually didn't. That was actually on the wiki page for the Ohio page. But I still said I'll get on that ASAP. And they said, if you created the one you're using in Hangouts, I like it. I'm like, well, that's from the wiki page, but I might have an easy way to mod a figure and a hard one. Like an easy way to mod a figure or a hard one. I tried the hard one and I decided, you know what, no, it's too hard. Everyone's going to be like bumping their heads against the wall. It's too crazy. You really need to know how to use Adobe Photoshop. And it's a nightmare to get used to. A lot of buttons. Honestly, I think the Adobe Photoshop needs to do a lot of modifications to where it could be a lot easier to use. Instead of having all those crazy buttons you got to go through. You got to hit one button 3 times to get to something else. It drives me nuts. So, I did tell them I can do that. So, I'm making this video for them. And I'm going to be sharing it back to this Google Hangouts page so they can try to do it themselves. This one on the top here was kind of the first one I made to show how you could do it. But that video kind of was missing a lot of elements, so I had to do another video. And another. Finally, we're hoping this one's about the last one I have to do. So, I told you earlier, just open your publisher, and then you're just gonna have a simple blank page. I just decided to go with the work I've already been doing. So, let's get started on how you can get your Waze figure that you're going to be working with. This should be real simple. Just simply go to Internet Explorer. So open up your Internet Explorer. We're going to open up a different page here. From Internet Explorer, you're going to find Google, and then from Google, you're going to type in Waze Mood Images, and then select that. Alright, and then finally you have this. Now on the top, make sure you select images, so you're in your images page. You don't want to worry about all those crazy websites that are just going to take you to all kinds of crazy stuff. You can kind of see the chart of all the Waze icons that's all over. You always start out with this little baby, and then you find a different figure. So there's just all these crazy figures you can get. So on this page, just go through all the images, see if you can find a Waze figure you like. Make sure it has like doesn't really have a background, or else that's going to make it kind of look bad, or else it's actually fine if you do have a bit of a background. Like this one would be fine, but you're going to have like stuff getting in the way that you don't want. That one, it's fine. You have it saying My Waze, but you did a touch up on it. That one's fine. So all these are fine. It's just like try to find one that doesn't really have a lot. Like this zombie, it's nice and empty. You can give it a hat. You can give it all kinds of crazy stuff. This is how I got that first icon. But like that one would do. But if you like that one, just come, well, here's another one there, but just come all the way down. I saw this one here. This is the one I used on that little page. So find your image, you select it, give it a few seconds to load. This one I thought had no background, but I guess it's a different one. When you find your image, just right click, hit save, picture as, and then type in what you want to call it. Make sure you save it to your desktop or some other location where you can remember it, and then save it. I already have my icon, so I'm going to cancel that. Then once you have your icon saved to your desktop or wherever you're going to save it to, find it on your desktop. Let me shrink this. Find it on your desktop, which mine's right here. I found one that had no background. I'll explain that in a second because it's really, really important in this case. Just find your image, drag it onto your screen, and place it. And then drag it to some spot on your screen where you can keep it. You can actually just keep making more and more Waze figures as you go. But honestly, you just need to start out with one on your screen. I'm getting rid of that. But what you could do, you could have this. You can right click on that and then hit copy and then do a paste there, and then you have two figures. I didn't do that right now, so I'm not dragging my figure around. But so there you go. That's how you can do that. But let's talk about the accessories. This is the original Waze icon. This is what you see on your on the actual app image. But let's give it some touch-ups. Like you saw when I started out, I gave the hat and everything to it. But we need to figure out how do we get that hat. Do you see how if I took that and put it on top of that, it works just fine? Well, the same goes for this hat. I can go right on it. And the same goes for this stash. It goes right on. Along with the gun. The gun does the same as well. But what we're doing here is we're going to we need to find the image we want to add to this Waze figure that we're using. So go back to your Google page you have and figure out what do you want to add. Well, I already have an army helmet. I have a gun. Let's do a hat. We'll just do hats. So do hat. Now figure out, do you want to do just clip art? Do you want to do a certain type of hat? You can scroll along the top here, see what options there are. You can do this on like all the options you have. The best thing to look into is find the clip art. Clip art is the best, but if you want to have a more realistic image, do those. But the clip art, usually every time you won't have that background. So figure out a hat you like just scroll through, so just find a hat. I'm like, ooh, it's St. Patrick's Day is coming up. We can get that. St. Patrick's Day is not really coming up. You got a beanie. You got a baseball cap. It don't matter which way the cap is pointing, and I'll show you why in a bit. Unless there's something written on the front, then that can matter. But, so find your hat. Say you're a funny geek. You're just a funny dude. We can just say we got a Joker's hat here. We'll use that. So select that. Make sure we have this checkered background. It's really, really important to have that checkered background. If we don't have that checkered background, then your figure's gonna get covered up. I'll show you a sample of that in a few seconds here. But for now, I'll save this here. We're gonna save the picture as, just like you did before with your Waze figure. Make sure you select where you're keeping it. Make sure your desktop, your saving points are set up. Like I always keep mine on the desktop because it's fast and simple. Save it. And then go back to your publisher page, find your image that you added, just drag it onto the screen. You can see it came out huge, but that's no issue. Because what we can do, we can just drag it over here, we can shrink it. Now you remember how I said like it doesn't matter which way the hat is pointing? Well, say I want this green being on that side instead of that side. Because I'm going that way, and I kind of want to make it like this is my front instead of my back. Like that kind of looks backwards to me. So what I could do is grab one square, drag it all the way over, try to get it to match the same size, and there you go. It just flipped around. It did a mirror. Now that's why I said like don't get anything with words on it, or else it's gonna the word's gonna be written completely backwards. Because what just happened, it was mirrored. So kind of fit it on your Waze. When you have it selected, you can use your keypad, use the arrows on your keypad, and set it down where you want. So figure it out. Like say I want more size here. It looks too tight on me. Okay, we can go with that. There we go. We kind of have it like that. There we go. So we have a nice little Jester's hat. Well, what else could we add to that? Let's do one more accessory. Like we could take all these. We can even add that mustache now. We can add that gun now. We could do what we want. We'll do one. I'll try to come up with one more accessory. What's something good for a gesture or something? We can have a what would be good? Let me think a few seconds. A smiley face? Let's do a smile. We'll do a smile. Just do a simple smile. Alright. Well, that's not quite the smile results I was after. I kind of just want the mouth. We'll do that. We're going to search a mouth. M-O-U-T-H. Clip art. Come on. Nah, we're not getting anything. Well, here's something. We got that. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to add this mouth. Let's see. Oh. Well, here's a picture I was actually after. We kind of want to have this mouth. This can be our sample picture that I want to keep. I'm going to save this for after we find our image. I'm just saving that so I can teach you why you want to have that checkered background. But we'll keep searching here. Take a look at this one. No, no checkers. We got it. You have to have that checkered background. Like there. There we go. We have a checkered background now. Alright. Yeah, we'll save that. Save picture. Save that picture as... Okay, save. Okay. So, let me show you why we don't want to use this picture. You see how this picture, we have that big white background, and this picture doesn't? Well, let's drag this white picture on here, and I'll show you. You see how everything just vanished? What happened here? Well, what happened is that checkered background represents that nothing is behind it. And every time I try to put it on top of my Waze, look what happens. He disappears. Remember how when I put that hat on there? See how you can still see it, but if we put that mouth on there, it's like missing. Well, so that's the type of figure you don't want. You don't want it having any background. So we'll delete that. We're going to go get our actual mouth that I chose here, which is this one. It's a nice big funny smile. It's sure to make everyone laugh. Okay. So we got to shrink that down to the size we want it. And put it on. Make sure it's just right to fit over my figure. There you go. Nice funny smile for our figure. Nice and funny. If you can find eye attachments, you can try to do those and other stuff. But so you kind of see how this goes. Let me put my figure back to how I want to have it. I kind of want to have a construction worker and stuff. In fact, you know what? For my construction worker, I do want to add one more thing. Think he's a construction worker. If I could find a little blueprint roll for clip art, that'd be kind of cool. Let me do this. Let me try to find that real fast. Okay. So we just got to find a perfect, look, I just want to find a nice little perfect roll that he's going to be carrying. We're going to have it like sitting on his side. Nice little, or actually a map would do too. A map would probably be better, but no. Yeah, a map. We'll do a map. Yeah, it's a pain in the butt, but it's worth finding. We kind of want to have I think we're working on the maps here. I think a blueprint would be better. He's a construction worker. I want it being rolled up because he's driving around with it. We just got to hope that that one picture we find is perfect. I don't want white, I want it to be blue because this actually work. That has something written on it, so that tells you like it's definitely not going to work. It's going to have a background. Well, this ain't working. We'll just give him a hammer. Just find a hammer. Hammer should be simple. There we go. Got our construction man. He's going to have a little hammer. Nope, not good. It's got a shadow. Anything that has a shadow, that tells you it's not going to work. So watch for shadows. This one could work. Yep, there we go. Here we go. All right. Save. Yeah, you remember how when I brought that other mouth on there? Look at how clean this hammer came on. It's nice and huge, but it came on just clean. So there we go. I kind of have my nice little Waze construction worker now. We can just leave our other stuff up here. What you can do if you want to do more of these in the future, make sure you go to File and Save this. Like you could make sure you find a nice saving spot. Like if you're going to be changing your icon daily or something, make sure you do that. But there still is one final step to take. We have to go to our Start menu or our search bar. Windows 8, your search bar is off to the right, but if you're a Windows 10, your search bar is down here. Windows 7, open Start. But go to Ask Me Anything. You want to type in Snipper. S-N-I-P. Alright. Well, actually, I was supposed to say snipping. You want to type in snipping tool, and then it's going to show up like this. Select your snipping tool. This is what it's going to show up just as a little tiny box. Let me hit new here. This is kind of what it would show up as, but the screen wouldn't be shaded. Just hit new, and then your screen's going to shade out like so. Kind of select your figure. Give it a little space because you're going to be cropping it when you're in the Google page. Select it and save it. Give it a title. Every time you do a snipping tool, it's always going to save as capture, so give it a title. Waze workers, we'll call it. Enter. And make sure you save it to like a simple place to find. Usually it'll show up in your pictures. But once you're done with that, you can close the snipping tool. Make sure your document was saved and close that out. I'm just going to shrink it for now. You can see my former Waze creations, which was that one. Then we had that one. And then here's our new one right here. You can kind of see the timeline actually started like that. Went from there to there to there. So now we have our image saved. Let's work on putting it onto the Google Hangouts. So go into your Google page, your icons up here, select that. Select change. And select a photo from your computer. Select that. Now find your icon you made, or one of the icons you made. And I'm going with this one. Hit open. There you go. Now you kind of squeeze it to the size you want. You can't, in Google, you can't go up and down. You can only go diagonal. So go like so. Go like that. So that's how I'll keep my worker. When we have it done, we got to dismiss this. I don't know why that even comes up every time. But once we have that done, we set as profile photo. There we go. Make sure you have that little swirling thing. And then make sure your icon shows up like so. And then you can shrink that. And your icon should be done. I still don't know why it shows up like that. I don't know if it's like a history thing or something. When I pull that down, there's our new icon that we made, or our new figure. And that should be it. Make sure you save your work. You can play around with it all you want. Like I can just rip my hat, rip that hat off. I could put that on there. I could rip the hammer off and give it the gun. I can put the smile on top. But here's the issue. At times, one thing's going to be on top of another, and that's because of the order you put them into the computer. If you want the gun to be on top of that smile, which it's underneath, is because the smile was the last thing we put on. You have to select, right-click on it, and bring to, no, just select it, and then find in Format, Bring Forward, or Bring to Front. We select Bring to Front, and then we could take it and put it on top of that mouth now. It's like that mouth got pushed back. So that's all. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe. To my fellow Wazers and Waze editors out there. Hope you enjoy your Wazing, or keep on Wazing. Actually, that's what I should be saying. Have a great day. Goodbye.